Hi, welcome back. We are on episode 49. Thank you for joining us today. And so today, where do we find ourselves?
So today it's a very short episode, and
Mhm.
there is not much happening, but it's what I would call a day in Jericho.
Okay.
So our audience may remember that in the last episode, we covered basically the famous um, journey in the desert of Yeshua, right, where he supposedly met the devil, right? Of course,
Right.
he didn't meet the devil, but anyway. So
Right.
we covered that in great details,
Mhm.
and on his way down from the little cell in the cliff where he was staying, he
Mhm.
saw the city of Jericho and felt compelled to go
Oh,
there
okay.
and do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna see that today, and I think
Mhm.
all this has pretty much been reported in the official Bible.
Okay.
So
As official as it can be. Yes.
yes, as official and precise as it can be. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the news of Yeshua's presence in Jericho, of course, had leaked. As you may remember, there was a little campment where Miriam, Thomas, Tade, and a big dog and a donkey were staying, right?
Dog and a donkey.
In some
Yeah.
kind of oasis under
Yeah.
palm trees. But of course, people came and they had to justify their presence
Mhm.
at the foothill of the mountain, right? People was wondering, okay, what are you doing there?
Mhm.
They are well known. So as soon as the little group, the big dog and the donkey, passed through the gate of Jericho, it doesn't last. I mean, a group of 20 people, follow them,
He's here.
yeah, exactly, start asking all kind of
My hand
questions,
hurts. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
requesting favors,
Mhm.
my food, and
Mhm.
so forth.
Right.
So a lot of people had a parent or a child to heal, some problem to solve, but strangely, nobody wanted to hear about Awul. They don't care about that.
Yeah.
It's not important.
Yeah.
First, you have to fix the
Mhm.
physical problems.
Well,
And
it's
then
kind of hard when you're in pain to pay
it is,
attention, right?
it is true.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I have to agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So for a lot of people on this planet, and this is again Yeshua, making some constatations. What is called faith is a system of safe and comforting beliefs,
Mm.
which bring them some daily benefits.
Mhm.
So this is how Yeshua sees faith. So Yeshua had to agree to all their requests, as a proof that the Eternal was really with him and was listening to the questers, right? Since without realizing it, all these questers were placing themselves in the center of the universe, right?
Well, we all think that, right?
Yes.
We're the
Yeah.
center of the universe.
They are so important that they
Yeah.
have to ask the Christic energy to
Mhm.
take care of themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So again, and this is a word from Yeshua, what is called egotism or egocentrism is first of all a poor consciousness, according to him. So arriving on the main square, where beautiful fabrics were negotiated by the caravans, Yeshua is going to sit down and he hoped to address the group following them, 20 or 30 people following them. And again, I wanted to make a parenthesis here. Jericho is a terminal for caravans. So a lot of caravans going to the...
It's like the train station.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the
a
caravan
grand
station.
station for the
Okay.
caravans. Yeah.
Right.
And this is where they exchange the spices, the fabrics,
Right.
the jewelry, whatever
Yeah.
they bring
It's like
back
a
from
big flea market
from the
almost.
east. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Yeshua, raise up and says, "Who came here to listen to me?" And a large brouhaha, is heard with many raised hands.
Yeah.
People pretending. And he said, "No, no, 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 my friends. I said, listen, not hear." At that moment, a big silence.
Yeah, everybody's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I came here to hear him, but really, not really to listen. And Yeshua is going to start a story, because this is probably the best way at that time, and still today, to convey a teaching.
When you
right?
go to church, they always have a story
in church,
to talk about the next
right.
lesson.
You're
Yeah.
right. In church, you only
There's
tell
always,
stories.
they need to make it personal.
Yeah, it's just stories.
Mhm.
There is nothing true about it. So anyway, this is the story said by Yeshua in the memories of nature. So a fisherman had 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl. One day, as they were on the shore near the fishing boat, one of the boys asked, "Father, teach us the art of fishing. Every time we go out to fish, we come back empty-handed."
Mm.
So the fishermen tell them, the father, "When the moon is almost full, go to the end of the lake. If the sky is covered and raining, you will find plenty of fish."
Mm.
So one of the sons says, "Oh, I went to the end of the lake. The weather was gray, but no fish came in my nets."
Mm.
And the father says, "That's probably because it was too hot. Go at dawn when everything awakened."
Mm.
And the second son says, "Oh, I tried at father too, and at dusk as well. But the fishing was still very meager." So, seeing that this is going nowhere, the daughter starts
Yeah.
talking.
Mhm.
And she said, "You did not understand anything, my brothers.
Mhm.
You heard, but you did not listen.
Mm.
Our father did not talk to us about the clouds and the time of day. He first said, when the moon is almost full."
Mhm.
Where was your ear while your mind was running, right? In the same way, when the season of the apples come and that you go to pick them up, you're not thinking about the intelligence that made them grow.
Mhm.
You are taking, but you never listen to the true power which generates the fruits.
Mhm.
So long silence happens, between the son, the father, and the daughter.
Mm.
And then in the audience too. And then somebody says, "Rabbi, why is it the girl who understood the father? And why talk about the lake when we are here in the middle of the desert?"
Oh my gosh.
Very
That's
practical
funny.
questions. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Yeshua responds, "And why not, my brother? In truth, it is to trigger that question in you
Mhm.
and to make you think about it. It is to help you get out of your beliefs that you do not even understand." Like the sons of the fisherman in my story, listen to what is hidden behind all you hear,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear the mass, you can hear
Mhm.
whatever is being said in the temples,
Right.
or you can listen and try to understand. And then he continues, "Look at your life and let it speak about what it is trying to tell you behind its apparent desert. You smile. You think that I do not see what your lives are made of. I know you work hard. You have a family and you need to eat. But your belly is not the only one to be hungry. Otherwise, why would you be around me? Your diseases, your sufferings, I'm telling you, they are first in your soul. I came among you today so that you can listen and understand that. Remember these words, because when I am no longer around, you will look at each other and will wonder, where was our here on that day?" And Yeshua continues and he says, "Probably in your belly and not in your heart."
Think about being hungry. Yep.
So Yeshua is going to pause for a moment, to let the story and the essence of it sink into
Mhm.
the people. And at that point, the big dog comes to him and places muzzles on Yeshua's laps. The dog was offering tenderness,
Right. Yes.
true love.
Mhm.
And finally, Yeshua is going to stand up to walk through the small streets. He knows that his words have had very little impact on the consciousness and that request would be more numerous than ever. Yeah. And it's always like that. I
Yeah.
mean, I have to say his teachings are not easy to understand.
A lot of times,
And
yeah.
even, 2000 years later,
Mhm.
it's still a challenge
Yeah.
to really go to the depths of what he's teaching us. Yeah. So during his walk into the streets of Jericho, Yeshua is going to perform a few healings And he's always using the same method, some dirt, his saliva, and he's blowing on the patients too with his breath, right? And all the healings were happening spontaneously from his hands and his breath. And after all these days in prayers that he did in the desert, Yeshua was happy to have all this energy and life flowing through him again. And he realized also that many people are inviting him inside their home, so they can gloat about it with their neighbors and friends.
Right.
Oh, I had the white rabbi in my home. And Yeshua was looking at them as if watching young children, who are trying to get your attention. Hey, Rabbi, come to my home. And suddenly, Yeshua sees a man trying to keep his balance in a tree. So that's a famous guy in the tree. And he addresses that man perched on a branch, and he says, "What are you doing there?" And the man says, "Oh, it is the only way to see you, Rabbi. I'm not very tall, and so will you come in my home? I heard about you, and I have a lot of questions."
Oh my gosh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. And Yeshua asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Zakkai, Rabbi." And someone else in the crowd is screaming, "It is not true. He does not deserve that name." So for the audience, Zakkai means the just, the good.
Oh, because he wasn't that just and good.
No.
According to them.
And actually, the crowd around Yeshua is vociferating, and they are saying, "Go back in your tree. You're just Bar Matayamu." And that's his real name, Bar Matayamu.
Bartholomew?
Bar Matayamu, the son of Matayamu.
Okay.
Yeah. "Do not pretend to be what you are not," said an old man. And another one said, "Do not worry about him, Rabbi. He's a publican." And a publican is actually a tax collector for the Romans.
Oh.
And that's why people don't like him.
That's why they don't like him.
They don't like him at all. And they don't like that he used the name of Zakkai, the just and the good, when he's actually taking all their money.
Yeah, there's no just and good in that.
And then Zakkai goes, "Are you coming in my home, Rabbi?" And Yeshua says, "Why should I do it?" And Zakkai says, "I don't know. It is necessary." So now at this point, the crowd, screaming,
Yeah.
And they are saying, "Not to his place, Rabbi, not to his place. You are
Of all people.
You are insulting us if you go to his place." And Yeshua responds, "Tell me, who is insulting who here?" "Yes, who? Tell me." And the reaction of Yeshua is actually imposing a silence on the crowd, I guess he has that capability with his voice and his tall stature, and then acoustic energy.
The tone and everything.
The tone and everything, to silence and impose on the crowd.
Right.
And he goes to Zakkai, "Where is your home, my friend? I will go and eat with you. But first, thanks them all around you, because I read in you, thanks to the crowd."
Oh.
So the reason why Yeshua is going is because he had the time to read his aura, the aura of Zakkai, and see that, in fact, that man needed something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the crowd is finally dispersing, They are so upset with that decision. But anyway. And so the home of Zakkai is, in fact, in a very rich neighborhood, a little bit outside of Jericho, not far from the toll, which was installed by the Romans, to perceive taxes and
the toll
on the roads and the Roman via. And Zakkai has a lot of beautiful trees of different kinds. He has a very large domain. He's a very fancy home. And Taddy and Thomas are drinking at the well while Yeshua walks in the garden and is holding Miriam by the hand. And that gesture, seeing the rabbi hold the hand of his wife, is actually stupefying for Zakkai.
Oh.
He's super surprised.
Mm.
How could you do that?
Oh.
And the group is going to sit in a lavish living room with large pillows made with the leather of dromedaries.
Oh.
Yeah, so poor, yeah.
Those are the camels, in case anybody forgot about that.
And
Yeah.
Zakkai goes, Rabbi, you choose our mountain to pray. Did you see the face of the Eternal?
Oh boy.
Oh boy, yeah. And Yeshua responds, why would I see it? He does not have any face. Or if he has one, it is just behind the face of each one of us.
Well, I can get him in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. So Zakkai goes, oh, a lot are saying that you're a prophet. So I thought that, maybe you could see the Eternal. And Yeshua goes, and you, what do you think I am for having insisted so much for us to be here with you?
Mm-hmm.
And Zakkai says, oh, a prophet, Rabbi. Of course, a prophet. And Yeshua goes, and what do you think a prophet can bring you?
Mm-hmm.
And Zakkai is a little bit puzzled by that question. He said, oh, maybe a benediction, Rabbi. Yes, a benediction, of course, a blessing. And Yeshua goes, you just made it up. No, my brother, it is not for this that you called me and why I listen to you.
Mm.
And Zakkai says, what is it then? And so at that point, Zakkai is probably having, he's a little bit embarrassed and he's trying to divert the attention and he's calling some servants, with food trays, try to
change the subject.
Change the subject, exactly. Yeah. And Yeshua goes back to the subject and goes, Zakkai, I came here because most of you does not like what you do. You saw all these beggars on the path to your home. And Zakkai says, oh yeah, they're there every day. I mean, it seems that it is their occupation. And they don't want to change.
Oh my gosh.
And Yeshua, being a little bit irritated by the answer, says, do you know their names? And Zakkai says, that would not change anything, Rabbi. Even if I knew their names, right? It wouldn't change anything. So Yeshua goes, so this is exactly what I thought. You see them, but you never look at them. Mm-hmm. Because for your eyes, these men and women and children are nobody. Mm-hmm. They are nothing. Mm-hmm. This is exactly like the Eternal from which you wanted to know his face. The Eternal you see is also nothing, a nobody.
Mm-hmm. It's all them too, right?
And Zakkai goes very, puzzled. He's not someone? And Yeshua tells him, it is this planet, it is the world, it is the universe, and much, much more. And this is why he lives in every one of these people that you do not look at. Mm-hmm. They are telling you about him because they are nobody. And then Yeshua goes, would you be deaf in addition to being blind? Uh-oh. Okay, so at that point, that guy is turning very pale, Yeshua's words have really hurt him. But that wound will be useful for him, because sometimes to make someone progress, you have to hurt them.
Wound them
you
a
have
little.
to wound them a little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm. And like Yeshua always says, the awakening of the soul is rarely done in a soft way. So Yeshua was seeing that behind the tax collector and behind the wealthy man. He was seeing that there was a soul that did not like itself and was trying to find a sense, a reason to his life. Mm-hmm. So this is an interesting case where the soul is more advanced. It's always more advanced, but the soul is in contradiction with what the ego and the man is doing with his mind.
Right, what the body's doing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, Yeshua stands up and he gives Zakkai a big hug, who is actually fighting not to cry. And Zakkai said, Rabbi, I have a lot of things here, probably way too much, and you have so little. Take anything you want. What can I do? I'm just Zakkai, and you can tell others that I'm not so bad.
He's trying to redeem himself.
Yeah. And Yeshua goes, Zakkai, my friend, it is not my role to tell them.
Mhm.
And Zakkai goes, Master, you are showing me my weaknesses and faults without even naming them. That is why you came here. Your eyes are observing everything. Did you see if I will get a pardon from the Eternal?
Oh my God.
So Yeshua responds, I'm asking you, make sure you remember that. In front of the Eternal, the fault you made weight a lot less than your efforts to repair it.
Mm,
Right?
right.
The fault you made weight
It's
a lot less
Yeah, because they actually
than your
acknowledged
efforts
it and you're
to
trying to
repair
fix
it.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Zakkai says, and why is that? Why is it?
Yeah.
And Yeshua responds with a sentence I really love, because it is always more difficult to climb than to fall.
Yeah. True. True.
And Zakkai goes, I will never be perfect, Master. And Yeshua goes, who is? And who expects you to be? The human being submitted to the flesh was never created perfect by the divine. On the other hand, it was created perfect in its potential of becoming perfect. It is that potential that must be discovered. Zakkai, take a vow to merit your name. Stand up, climb, and no longer fall. And then Yeshua adds something else, which is very interesting. And he goes, and for Shlomit, do not worry. She's doing very well. And Zakkai looks at him and he says, Shlomit? So,
Do tell.
do tell. Well, Zakkai happens to be the former husband of Shlomit.
Oh, okay.
And he let her go to follow Yeshua's teachings.
Oh, okay.
So she left her home,
Right.
living with Zakkai,
Okay.
so she could follow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, although very shaken by this experience with Yeshua, Zakkai offers the groups to sleep in his house, He's even, for the first time, talking to Miriam, Thomas, and finally Tadde, So far, he only talked to the rabbi in white, right?
Right.
The important person.
Right.
He had no ear or no eyes for the three other
Everybody else.
person. Yeah. But finally, things are changing,
Yeah.
He's
His
shifting
mind
his
is
paradigm,
shifting.
right?
Yeah.
He's shifting a little bit. And he realized that there is a Miriam, a Thomas, and a Tadde, who are, is the wife of Yeshua and the brothers of Yeshua. And they decided that they're not going to stay in his home, They were exiting at last, yeah. And Yeshua, at this point, wanted to walk to the south a little bit more and then go to Bethany to see Martha. Bethany is located near Jerusalem, And Yeshua had a vision that he needed to go there for something to do.
You didn't know quite yet, but
Well, yeah, it is not revealed yet.
Yeah, okay.
But after Bethany, Jerusalem would be the next stop. So, and Yeshua needed to prepare his position and speak over the project of his father, like a crystal inside a gem, waiting to be freed in order to show its true nature to humankind. So every step was going to be important from that moment. And Yeshua would try to first see his uncle Yusuf, who lives in Jerusalem, Nicodemus also, who lives in Jerusalem, try to guess the strengths of the Iskari, the zealots, who were watching Yeshua very carefully. And they are actually following everything he does very carefully because they are still hoping to get him as their leader.
Oh, okay.
To take down the Romans, right? And on that night, Yeshua travels to Shambhala in his light body. And there he is given another understanding in greater details about the purpose of his life.
Mm.
So, but we will see all those details in the next episode.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was good. That was some good little
Yeah.
teachings
Yeah, there
there.
was a lot of
about
good
people
teachings,
really
yeah.
paying attention to
Right, to others. Yeah.
others and
Yes.
don't bypass.
Hmm.
You never know what they could offer you.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I can benefit from those teachings every day.
Yeah.
We all can do that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So before we come to a conclusion, I just wanted to say that the next few episodes are going to be probably rocking the beliefs and the understanding of what most people have about Yeshua, right?
Right.
So I would say get ready. Always remember that we have also a Rumble where we post our video, because we may be deplatformed with what we say.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have enough audience to be
Yeah.
to be considered a threat, but we definitely are going to go against the official narratives here.
Uh-oh.
So
Better stay tuned. Thank you so much, and we look forward to having you again.